G'day, I'm Keeonra. Welcome to Keeonra Music and welcome to Songtember Wrap Up. Sorry I'm a bit late to the live stream for those who are following at home and wish to join me live. It's been a bit of a morning and I've had all sorts of issues. You can tell my background is back. OBS had an update and I've lost my ability to lose my background, which is a bit of a pain, but anyway, we'll work with it. It is what it is. Let's just keep moving. And then my camera it's been a thing, and then my microphone wouldn't work, so I've had a bit of a morning. But anyway, we are here and we are continuing. And I did watch Pete John's video this morning of his Songtember wrap up and lessons learnt, etc. And I had already, before he'd put his thumbnail up, I was thinking, I think I might do one of those shows because I think I learnt a lot from this Songtember. I certainly learnt a lot from 2 years ago. Last year I didn't finish my song, and I learnt last year to not have high expectations, that sometimes life gets in the way and you don't finish a song, and that's okay. Maybe I'll finish it next year. It's still sitting there. But yeah, so this is only my second Songtember song, I think. Or my third? I can't remember. It's all a bit of a blur, really. Songtember becomes a bit of a blur after a while, I think. All right. But yeah, so here we are. And this is what I ended up with. If you've seen the video on YouTube, I still haven't put it up onto through DistroKid. I use DistroKid as my distributor onto all the clicky things for Spotify and etc. etc. So I'm going to try and do that today and see what happens there. I have a couple of followers on Spotify, one or two maybe, and I think one of those is either myself or a family member. Not many. But so I have a couple of listens, so I get no money from any of this. It actually costs me out of pocket, but you know, it's a hobby, it's a thing, we all do it, don't we? Anyway, so it brings us a moment of joy in our lives in this chaotic world. So I wanted to go through my song because I learnt so much, because I hadn't recorded vocals for about 2 years. I hadn't, or about at least a year or so. Yeah, it was almost 2 years. And I hadn't really done too much at all. Most of my music making was 2023, and I pretty much skipped 2024. It didn't happen. So now that I've done Songtember, I really want to keep up the momentum and keep going and do stuff. Now also too, you might see this come. I have a parcel being delivered soon, so the door behind me may get a bit of a knock and I might have to just, I'll be back. So just to forewarn you, if you see that, that's what that means. All right, so I want to go through the vocals first because they're on top. For whatever reason, I thought I'd try recording my vocals separately. So verse 1, then chorus, verse 2, chorus 2, the bridge, and the last chorus, which worked out well. I did several takes of each one. I then also, but what I didn't do is I didn't put it all as one file. And that I should have done. In the past, I've recorded a song from beginning to end several times, and that gives me the variation to be able to do the vocal comping and get additional vocals for left and right to give it some width and have that really, really quietened down in the background. As I've done here, I've got left and right for each one. But the issue was I then had to put it through a Vox bus to put it through reverb and all that sort of thing. So it was all treated the same. In doing so, the other thing too is I did put on the vocals excuse me, the volume control, which I hadn't used before, and I saw that Dom Scalis had used this as a sort of a shortcut to actually, instead of getting the wave files and actually toning down the really loud bits and making it and sort of normalizing the sound there manually, I thought, oh, this would be great, I'll do that. And I also then added in where is it? I added in Nectar. I put ProQ3 on everything just to cut out the mud at the bottom end, which is fine, but wow, using FabFilter just for that, when I could in fact use the built-in EQ for just cutting that out in Cubase. The reason why I'm saying that, you'll find out in a minute. And then I used Nectar as a vocal chain for EQ, de-esser, compressor, etc., etc. Another EQ. I should have turned off delay and reverb on that one. I made it far too complicated. I overcomplicated all of this. And I really should have just taken the time to do it. And I think also with all of the plugins that I use, the iZotope plugins, while I really have enjoyed them in the past, I think I might try and move away from them for this project. And I'll tell you what's coming up next, because my poor computer was just struggling. It was the CPU was getting quite hot, over 80 degrees Celsius, and it can run at that, that's not a problem, but it was getting quite hot. And the sound was cutting in and out. It was just, and it was hard to work with in the end. It was really hard to work with because I was just getting virtually no sound through it because it was just too much. My door's just opening behind me. I hope that light's okay. So it was a challenge. I definitely won't do vocals like that again. I had a similar thing with the violins. I routed the strings through a single bus. And again, with the strings, I had neutron on all of those. When neutron's really good because it gives you a good starting point for equalizer, compressor, all the rest of it, but is it really needed? I don't know. I'm not sure. Will I use it again? I don't know. I'm not sure. I think it makes the sound a little bit better. For example, let's just play a little bit and we'll solo it. The main violin with it on and off. It's a slight difference. So, is it worth having the plugin to slow everything down? I don't know. Maybe I could just learn how to EQ a bit better and then do it that way. So there's that. So, yeah, having lots of big plugins, as in CPU usage on everything, was, I think, a little bit over the top and a little bit too much. Everything was struggling a bit. I would have liked to have spent more time on the vocals and getting that a little bit better. and having it all as one vocal line rather than still all broken up by the end of it. It was just too hard to get consistent, because then I had to make sure that all of the levels were right to get that normalized sort of sound, because they were all recorded slightly differently. Because I'd reached over to the computer and pressed record, I was standing in slightly different place for each little bit of recording, and it sounded just a little bit different. I had recorded at different times, so my voice was either more tired or less tired from the number of times of going through it. So, lesson learnt, would I record vocals in that way again? No. I'd record from beginning to end, all in one thing, and do it that way. Would I use those plugins again? I'm going to challenge myself, learn more about Cubase, and this time I'm going to try and use predominantly Cubase tools. So there is some amazing tools in there that are brilliant, and I want to use them more. In the end, and I think this was after my last stream, I went through and I thought, oh, that's right, that's what I should do, that's what I need to do. And I can't remember where I had it. I'll have to find it now. But I have on a bus somewhere. Here we go. So Frequency 2 is a plugin, Cubase plugin, which is a dynamic EQ. And I couldn't remember what it was called, and I thought, I remember the squiggly lines and how it worked. Squiggly lines, that's a technical term right there. But if I just play a little bit of this, and you'll see what's going on here.
Propaganda no more. Life is a commodity and we all pay the price. Parents screaming.
So you can see that I've done some ducking there for and some side chains. So when the bass comes in, this is on the guitar iron 2. So when this is the guitar being played, when the bass comes in, it cuts out. When my singing comes in, it ducks as well, because I was finding that for my vocals, they weren't coming through as well as it possibly could have. Now, I'll just show you what I mean by that. So if we go to here, the channel settings for this, you can actually, and I'd forgotten how to use these tools. That was the biggest challenge for me. Is like, I realized and I remembered at the end, it's like, oh yeah, that would have been good, huh? Again, having all the lyrics, the vocals all cut up, meant that I had to sidechain a whole heap of stuff, or I had to go through the Vox bus, which was okay. But what you can do is you can compare the guitar to the vocals and see where it sits. So down here a bit and through here. And that was why I discovered then that this would be beneficial.
All humanity could live in peace, but there are spies. People
kick drum coming through here.
Don't give up, there's always hope, just hold up line.
So the little bit of bass part of that's coming through for the guitar, getting the kick drum to sidechain through there, and my vocals, and it just made a bit of a difference. And I might play it a little bit back here a bit and turn it on and off. You can hear it before and after, and hopefully that will give you a bit of an idea.
Life is a commodity and we all pay the price.
So that's without it.
Parents screaming. First they came, I didn't speak, but saw the crimes. Families are torn apart because of maps and lines. All humanity could live in peace, but there are spies.
That's without.
there's always hope.
And it's not a huge difference, but it's a noticeable difference, and it just means that all the sounds aren't competing. And so I was very happy to have been able to remember to do that. But I've since learned that, you know, it's been a good couple of years since I've done music production properly, like done a really, you know, get into the nuts and bolts of it. And there's been another new tool called vocal strip or something. And so I wouldn't need to use Nectar if that was the case, the isotope plug-in for that, which I think is just making this, as you heard a little while ago, the sound cut out. My computer next to me there's little fans in there going a million miles an hour trying to keep the darn thing cool. So anyway, it's just one of those things. So I would definitely going to try and use Cubase's inbuilt plugins. I think that'll be less taxing on my computer. They'll work more cohesively. I will try to master my song without using Isotope's Ozone, which I've used since I've started doing this. I want to try and do that myself, and I watched a couple of videos in the last few days on mastering in Cubase, and it looks really easy, and it's like, why haven't I done this before? So, you know, I'm falling off the paid plugin bandwagon that I was sold the dream to when I first started. But in saying that, I think more than anything, they are great tools to use and to learn from, especially when you don't quite understand what you're doing, like me. So that's been really, really good in that respect. What else was there? Just to try and arrange the piece of music from the start, being mindful of different sounds and things. I do like the last two choruses of this, but by the time you get to here...
Non-stop time, history is just a rhyme, building strong for society fall.
There's a lot going on, even though it's just, you know, drums, bass guitar, but I've got the taiko drums, I've got the snare drums in there, there's a lot of drums. I've got the strings and the vocals, and it becomes a bit much. So I want to keep things simple to sort of make everything shine through. So that's the plan, hopefully. But yeah, I think I want to take more time in just equalizing everything, and take more time recording vocals. I was struggling because I had forgotten how to record vocals. I was struggling with my audio interface. That was a bit challenging because I'd forgotten which buttons to press on that to record vocals. I hadn't plugged a microphone in for almost 2 years, so it was very challenging. It was very challenging, but I pushed myself and I enjoyed it, and I'm really happy with the result in the time that I had. But I really want to improve again. So what does that mean? That means that we save this as, and I need to find the folder. I've already set a folder up for this one. And it's time. If you've seen my interview with Jade Star, there is a link in the description before. I'm just going to leave it in the description. Yeah, if you want to see it, go see it on Jade's channel. It's kind of cool. Explains all my clicky bits. That's a weird thing to say. But yeah, explains those. And I'm going to do a song that is going to be challenging from an emotional perspective. So that's a thing. That is a thing. I'm just gonna go here. Okay, that might be a bit better. I just noticed that there's... There we go. Alright, so I might... As I said, I had all sorts of issues with things this morning, and I'm had to reset a lot of stuff on OBS. So I'm trying to get that so I'm not too loud or too quiet on my microphone, and I think I might be a bit too quiet again now. So let's see how that goes. Alright, I think you should be able to hear me now. I think that's all okay. Alright. If it's not, let me know if you're in the live chat, or a comment if you're watching the replay. So I've just saved this as Let Go, not Let It Go. That's a totally different song. We're not going there. But what I want to do is I want to make this a template first so I can use it for other songs. And then I want to create a new song. So let's start off with, do we need the vocal lanes? No, we don't, because we'll need to record new vocals. So from here all the way, we're just going to delete everything. I've saved it as a different name. It's not the not my Songtember song. So vocals out of here. This is weird to do. Remove selected tracks. Gone. Oh my goodness. Did I just break things? I did. Oh, no, there we go. That took a moment. Okay, here we go. All right. Violins. I usually like violins in a lot of my songs and music. It's just performing with the orchestra for so many years. I just love the strings part. Would I leave it rerouted to strings? What did I put on there? I just put frequency. That was, oh yes, that's right. So that was in order, again, to do some side chaining for my vocals. So yes, that is worth doing. Okay. Yep. Yeah. So would I keep that? I think so. So that can all stay, but I will get rid of all of this because that's a different song. We want to start again. Gone. Deleted. This is so scary and freeing all at once. Guitar. I definitely like the sound of this guitar. It was really nice. And I had the changes, what are they called? Key changes? No. Yeah, so I had different there. And that worked well. That was a really good instrument to work with. Again, I've got Guitar Rig 7 on there. I've got Pro Q3, Neutron 4, compressor frequency. You know, I can do my own EQ here. And I can do, you know, a bit of this. And then have it as, there we go. Whoops. No, that's not going to work. Ah, dear. see. See, this is the thing. I haven't learned how to use this. I need to learn how to use it. Can I just delete? Yeah, reset the EQ. Okay, that's cool. So there is, you know, there's your channel strip. Oh, there's the equalizer. So yeah, I can, instead of using, what is it, Fab Filter, I can put a node there. I can make it, yeah, on a low shelf. Is that right? Right, low shelf. Low shelf 2. I want it do like that, sort of. Is that what I want? Okay, so there's different. So right down the end there, like that. It's kind of what I want. So I'd have to play around with that a little bit. So okay, all right. But yeah, so I want to use what is already in Cubase rather than adding all of these inserts. Would I keep Guitar Rig 7? Yes, I would. Would I change it? Maybe, because that was kind of fun to use. And it's got lots of different controllers and things on there, and you can get lots of cool sounds. I like the sound that I got for this one, and would I use it again? Possibly. Depends. Maybe. We'll see what happens. Let's get rid of Pro Q3. I think not having that. Just get rid of that. Would I use Neutron 4? I'm not sure. I'd like to think no. I'd like to think that I can do some EQing and things on here manually myself. So let's get rid of that. Compressor. Why have I got a compressor? That is a very, very good question. And again, I think because I had this as a side chain, and then I realized afterwards that I really should have just used frequency. So I think I side chained twice there. Do I need a compressor? No, not for the side chaining. So let's move frequency up there. I'd keep those two. And again, it's just to keep it simple. Just to keep it simple. Electric Mint. I really liked Electric Mint. I think it sounded really nice through here. This bit. That was really cool, especially the video I did for it. That was very impactful, and that's what I was going for, so I was really happy with that. Again, would I use Pro Q3? No. Would I use Neutron 4? No. I want to try and do it simply myself. Would I use Guitar Rig? Yes, I would, because that made it sound all kinds of cool. So we're going to try and come up with a, similarly with bass guitar, frequency. Yep, need that for the thingy, side chaining, words. Frequency is great for the dynamic side chaining, dynamic EQ, so I would definitely keep that. This was for the kick drum to come through, so you can see every time the kick drum plays. Of course it's not playing this bit, is it? The bass guitar sound ducks the low end, so you can actually hear the kick. That's without it. That's with it. It just becomes a little bit clearer, and certainly not as muddy, because you don't want mud in your bottom end. So yeah, I definitely keep Guitar Rig 7 and Frequency for that. Would I use Massive X Air Attack again? Not as a template thing, that was a once-off thing, so I think I'm going to get rid of that. Would I use some sort of keyboard type thing? Possibly. As a template, maybe not. So let's remove Massive X. The Tychos, no, that was definitely a sort of a once-off sort of thing for this particular track. Even though the Tychos were awesome. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Where did I get the Tychos from? Can't remember now. Cine Perk. Okay, so that's part of the Cine Samples range. Cine Samples taiko drums. Right. I do have another taiko drum somewhere as well. But I think for this one, I definitely would remove the taiko drums and the ones on the right, because I had two going on and I split them so they were a bit more panned out to give a bit more depth. The claps. I'll keep that in because that's really good for shakes and claps, tambourine, all that sort of thing. And it's a really cool, really small plug-in by UJam GrooveMate. I think it was free or very low cost or something, or at one point they offered it for free. I can't remember now. Check out UJam's website for that one. That's a really good one. I really do enjoy that one. And yes, you can hear the traffic in the background. I'm waiting to see if I get that delivery. So I'm going to keep the claps and tambourines and that sort of thing in there. The Mark Tree, what? And you're going, what is the Mark Tree? That's that. Would I use that again? I don't know. It is very Nightwish. I don't know. I can always add it in. So I think I'll take it out. I'll take it out because I don't know if I want it for all future tracks as a template. Originals Drumline. This was really cool. I was very, very happy to finally use this plugin. I've been wanting to use this as a marching band type snare drum piece in a piece of music, and I was really happy to finally get to use that. And that was fun. That was really good fun to use. I really enjoyed that. Would I use it again in others? No. So off it goes. Remove it. Done. ELA drum kit. So happy I got to use this. This is a beast of a thing, and I must thank Jade for her show that I caught. I don't see all of Pete and Jade's videos, and live streams. The time for me here in Perth is just not the best. So I did catch the one a while back where she did an episode on ELA, and so glad because this is a kick-ass drum kit. I got a lot of feedback from people saying the drums are good, and especially in this bit here, I'm just going to solo it and play it. And this was just a groove that I got from ELA and dragged in there and just edited little bits as I saw fit. But I was really happy with the way that sounded. I could EQ it a little bit better. I ran out of time to EQ it as much. But there you go. These things happen. Alright. Voices of War and the choir. Would I use them again? Yes, I would. I like using choirs and things. And again, it was something different and unusual, and became a critical sort of piece of the music in the end, which that wasn't my intention, but it just made it that way. But that sort of thing for backgrounds and whatever, and pieces of music, definitely something I would use again as a bit of a standard template. So yes, I would keep that. I then have an effects bus, and I've got Valhalla Vintage Verb on that, and I pretty much put almost everything through that I felt needed to. Certainly put the vocals through. I love this reverb. It's a good, easy to use, clean, reliable, cool reverb. I have lots of reverbs. A lot of reverbs come with other things, like Isotope's got the reverbs as you saw from Neutron. There's excuse me, I'm still catching up on sleep from Songtember. There's lots of there's Realm and other reverbs through Native Instruments. There's Isotope's reverbs. I've got a whole heap of reverbs from Arturia. So yeah, I've got more than enough reverbs. But of all the reverbs, Valhalla Vintage is a really nice one, and it's probably one of the cheaper ones. It's like, if I was to start out music production again, what would I do? Well, that's a whole video I probably should do, because I've learned a lot, and I would do things differently. I really would. I would do things very differently to what I've done. All right. So what I plan on doing next is I might just close that door behind me, because that is getting a little bit bright. So just bear with me one moment. Okay, and I'm back. All right, that's a bit better. So let's see. We got rid of those before, and then they came back because I pressed Control Z trying to get rid of that EQ. All of this can go. All of it can go. It's going. That's it. Done. That's it. The song's gone. Look at it. I will keep the arranger track there of the layout, just to give me a starting point. I don't necessarily have to keep it like that. I can certainly change it. But we'll just see how we go. I like everything else, and I think this is a good starting place. It doesn't mean the be all end all. The other tracks that I would add definitely is I'll add Contact Date, and I like the Classic View, Thanks for Coming, and Piano. Emotional Piano is my favourite. So we'll go with that. It's a bit of a big file as far as instruments are concerned, but it is a lovely sound, and I think if I want to have it as a main instrument, then I think it's worth it. If I can play it. just sounds really nice. So I'm thinking that that will be the way to go, and we'll just have piano there. And we'll see how we go with that. Let's give it a nice colour. Let's colour pretty blue, pretty blue. That will be nice. There we go. So we've got blue. And I think that's pretty much it as far as having everything there and lined up. I think so. I think so. There we go. Don't need that. Lovely. All right. So I think that's pretty much a good starting place, a good template for starting this time round. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just save it for now, and that is my Let Go song starting point. But what I'm also going to do is save as template. And I do have other templates. So we'll go with, I don't want a new folder, I'll just put a new preset as rock, I think. Let's just call it a rock template. And if I were to open up a new project, I could then go to more over here and I would see my rock template there. So it's pretty cool. I've got a trance template. I should use that. I'll be one orchestral template. I didn't know I had all that set up. See, this is what happens when you don't do music production for quite a while. You forget what you've done. All right. Now, we're going to start off. We've done a template, which is good. I want to do more templates because then it's just easier to deal with. Right. So what I should do is go through and set up all those EQs. But I think I need to learn it a bit more. I think that's the other thing is I do have a couple of courses that I signed up for a while back on how to use Cubase properly. And I've done bits and pieces just to find out how to do things and to learn as I go, and Googled a lot and watched a video here or there, but it hasn't been comprehensive and I haven't done a full course from start to finish. So I think that I'm going to make that my priority whilst I'm creating this track, because you don't know what you don't know. And there's probably a lot I don't know, and probably a lot of shortcuts and things. I've definitely realized how dependent I am on the keyboard shortcuts. For example, Shift H expands the tracks, Shift G puts them together again. Yes, I had to Google that recently because it was driving me nuts and I couldn't remember how to do that. So, and especially when you start getting lots and lots of tracks. I don't want to have too many tracks because that's just going to be taxing on my computer, and my computer is 3 years old now, and so the way I've built it, it should give me at least another 5 to 7 years at least. We usually build computers in our household to last for about 10 years, and on touch wood, for the most part they last pretty well on that. But I'm very mindful that, again, would I do things differently? Yeah, there's some things I would do differently in building a music production computer if I was going to go from scratch again. Some lessons learnt there as well. But I think keeping it simple especially for the Songtember challenge. I think Pete said today in his video live stream today, keeping it simple just makes it a lot easier. And if you can, start with a template, that's really cool. So if you kind of know what genre you want to do, or you usually do a particular genre or something, starting with a template is like saves so much time. In saying that, let's add something else here. Add another track. I want to add an instrument track, and I'm going to add I think pigments. I do like Arturia stuff, and they've got some really cool stuff. Let's add pigments to the mix. There's just so many presets that I've bought. I have actually bought a lot of them. So I've got a lot of sound banks here. And there's just so many, we can go a bass, we can go wind, we can go drums. That was actually one thing that I wouldn't mind doing at some point is, let's just pick one for now. What does that sound like? See, then I get distracted. So let's just put pigments in here, and we'll make that a slightly different color, and we'll add that. Let's see if we can add that to, can we save as a template and then save it as a template? Can we overwrite it? File exists, overwrite, there we go. So that's good to know. I'd never done that before. So learning is good. So that's really good. So I could actually go in and change all of these. So for example, if I wanted to, that's the channel strip. Done it again. Okay, so just hitting delete fixes that. So, okay, that's... Okay, well that resets it all. Alright. Well that's really... Oh no, there's the equalizer there. So that is an easy way of doing it. So I can do that. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that's an easy way of doing that. Okay, what's parametric? Okay, no, I don't want that. I don't want a high. Oh yeah, that is what I want. I want a high pass. There we go. High pass, low shelf. It's the same thing, I think. It's slightly different. Okay. High pass 2. Parametric tree. Oh, okay. See, I'm still learning. Parametric 1. High pass. That's what I want. And I probably want it at about 30 is what I did. 37. About 30. About there. But I want it a bit more than that. Like I want it a bit sharper. You know what I mean? So I want it like that almost. Because if we do that, I just want to cut out the bottom end, so about there. So it is about the 30 hertz, just to get rid of that bottom bit, the muddy bit. So if I can do this on all of them, that would be good. That's too much there. So this is probably why I would have done the fab filter, and if that's the case, I'll put fab filter back on, because it is a really good, it has more control, I think, and you can also listen better, I think. But does it work? Does it work? Do you think it works? Do you think it works? I don't know. I'm not sure. Low shelf, no. High pass. I think a high pass would work. And that's... this is, if we're going to compare apples with apples, and we may as well, let's put fab filter in here. Let's spell it correctly, that would help. Where's fab filter? It's not called that, it's called Pro Q3. If we're going to, oh no, I've got reverb too. If I was going to put fab filter in, it's just easier to get to. So there's the around the 30 hertz, and we can do a low cut there, and we can, it's just nicer to use. It's a lot sharper, and it's right about where I want. But you can also listen to it. And you can hear it's just cutting out that really low end. And I think that gives me more flexibility. So would I continue to use Fab Filter Pro Q3, even if it's just for this on every channel, just to get rid of all the muddy bits? Yes, I think so. Does Cubase have the same thing? Yes. Is this a little bit more flexible? I think so. There you go. That's as simple as that. So let's go with that, and not, as Jamie Melander would say, let's not pissy pants about. Let's just get on with it. I've still got Fab Filter Pro Q3 on here already anyway. About the same. Done. Sorted. So let's go with that, and let's put it on every track. We don't need it on the accumulated buses if we have it on the individual ones. And then I also have it on the master bus as well. I don't necessarily need it on the reverb. That was okay. And certainly would not put it on the kick or the bass, because they're the only two that you really want that low end bit. And if you have the overall low end cut out, it cuts out the accumulation of all that muddiness and boominess that doesn't really add anything to the sound. So it cuts it out all the way through, and it gives it a final cut out at the end to try and get rid of all that mud. So that is good. I'm happy with that. So that's a good decision making process, if that's the case. So since we've done that, let's save that as our project, but let's also resave it as our template, which is going to be our rock template. Where's it gone? It was there before. Rock. File exists. Yeah, overwrite it. Thanks. Why did that not happen? It's there. It didn't show up before. That was bizarre. Maybe my eyes aren't working. Who knows? Alright. So we've faffed around a little bit for about an hour, but I think I'm in a good place to say, okay, I've got a good rock sort of template. Got my strings, guitars, bass, drums, choir, reverb, piano, whether I keep that or just to create the song. It's all there and it's all happening, which is wonderful. But I'm doing a song that I actually started 2 years ago. So because of that, I'm going to drag and drop a WAV file in here. Actually, I'll put it up the top. I'll put it up the top. Don't need to copy it to the project folder because I already have. Let's not make that the same as the keyboards. Let's make it another color. Oh, it's too hard. Green. Let's make it pink. Have we got pink? I think we've got pink somewhere. Got a lighter purple. It's, I don't know, that color. That's totally different. There we go. So I'll play some of this. Actually, we'll listen to the whole thing. So this was, I mean, you could call it a demo, I guess. This was where I got up to with this song in Cakewalk before I transitioned from Cakewalk to Cubase. One of the good things that I did when I decided to cut the ties with Cakewalk was whatever projects I was in the middle of, I just exported the WAV file, so at least I had a reference. If I wanted to remake it, I could. I could have exported stems and all that sort of thing, but I thought, no, I would have learnt how to do things differently, and I probably would change my mind of how I would do things. So, and that's exactly what has happened. I listened to a little bit of this the other day and went a bit cringe. But let's take a listen of the song that I did a couple of years ago, and it's just been a little bit too painful to do, but now is the time. Now is the time. So, and I have a target to have this done, of all things, in a month. Let's have a listen and see where we're at with this. Vocals, but I have got the lyrics. Now, I don't know. I'd have to. So there you go. Boy, oh boy. Okay. There's some vocals in there. The vocals were actually recorded for another purpose. I was actually teaching someone Lacrimosa, the song, for an audition they were intending to do, but life changed for them and they didn't end up going to the audition. So I like the idea of having part of Lacrimosa in there. Do I want to keep it? I'm not sure. Do I want to rewrite bits? Absolutely. Do I want to keep some bits? Absolutely. Do I want to have a look at at the lyrics again? So, you know, the lyrics are, time it ticks on, soon it's the end, got to move on, darkness begins. I'll walk with you, just take my hand, valley of death, together we stand. Bit dark. We've got to hold on to me. Then verse 2, final goodbyes, tears have all dried, sleep it evades, darkness of night. You are afraid, squeezing my hand, no further I go, we don't understand. Then you must let go of me. Travelled so far, I see the scythe, must go alone, no longer can hide, waiting for God, your final breath, unbearable pain, with life there is death. I must let go of you. And then that's it. Yeah. So it's, yeah, I don't know. It's the main tune of the song, and some of the lyrics have been in my head, and I think the lyrics have changed a little bit of what I thought they were to what I think they should be now. Question, do you think, and comment below, because I'd be interested to hear from you. Do you think it's easier to do a song from scratch without anything in the brain already there? Or is it good to do this, to revisit something and go, actually, I want to finish that. Actually, I want to change it. Actually, you know, is this too restrictive because I'm trying to, you know, put a round peg in a square hole sort of thing? Or, I don't know. This is going to be challenging. I want to do this. I've set myself the challenge. I've got the template now, so I have to. Yeah. I like the da 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 da, that part. I don't think I'll keep the Lacrimosa at the beginning though. So where was it? This part. The drums, I think I've definitely learnt how to do drums a little bit better, so I'll build upon that, I think. I like the strings underneath. I wouldn't bring the strings in till near the end. I love the guitar, this bit. I don't know what guitar I use. I want to find that again or something similar. But I'll do it better. I think it's a bit ambitious for me to actually play guitar for this, because my guitar playing is shite. And I haven't picked up a guitar in way too long. So in order to keep it simple and sound much better than my guitar playing, I think we'll do that. But I don't know. I'm not sure. I might play bass in it. But again, I haven't played bass for about 30 odd years either. So I think it's a bit ambitious for me to actually play guitar in this. I think I'd be better off to go with virtual guitars just because it's just going to be simpler this time round. But I really want to play guitar in the future. But the time for doing this song is now. So let's work with what we've got, I think. I think the transition is good. Some of the strings aren't sounding great there. So I'll redo the strings. I do like a bit of the choir thing at the end. And the string thing at the end isn't too bad either. So I like the outro. What do we got? It's a 3.5 minute song if I leave it at that, but I think I'll change it. Let's start a tempo and let's start building the structure of the song, I think. And at least we'll have that today. Maybe. Track. Okay, the start position. I thought that might be the case. So what I'll do is this will be let's try it at 110. Is that right? Let's give it a shot. It's still a little bit too fast, but I think I might want it a bit faster. So if, for example, I did 2, 3, 4. Da, 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 da. No, it's too fast. It's let's what did I do there? I'll see. Okay, so I've got a tempo change there. Right, okay. Let's go to here, and I reckon 100. Let's hear that. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. That's a bit slow. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. I think I want it a bit faster. I think. So if you go it's still fast. Let's change to 104. I think that's about right. I think that's pretty close. Da 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 da. It's a little bit faster, but I think faster is better. Otherwise it drags too much. So I'm happy with that. We have 104 beats per minute. Awesome. Now, let's work out what we're going to do as far as structure is concerned, and let's see if we can come up with something. Now, the last track we did for Songtember was a doozy. It was a bit long. So it was about a 5-minute song. But it was cool. I enjoyed it, so I rolled with it. Why not? So we definitely want intro. What sort of intro? I don't know. Would I want, take the metronome off because that's annoying. Would I want this sort of intro? While like Lacrimosa is a beautiful piece of music, I think I'd butcher it. This was a lot of work to get the choir virtual instrument to do all this, but it was cool. So it starts there. Do we need an 8-bar intro? Is 4 enough? Let's see if we can go with a 4-bar intro and come up with something else. Let's challenge ourselves, hey? 1, 2, 3, 4-bar intro and then get into it. Let's see how that goes. Now, the other thing is, so the verse goes, if we go 8-bar verse, it would be, time it ticks on, soon it's the end, got to move on, darkness begins, I'll walk with you. Let's just press this and let's put the metronome on and do it, because I'm losing count with my fingers and trying to read and sing and all of that. Let's start again, shall we? Actually, and mute that. 3. Time it ticks on, soon it's the end, got to move on, darkness begins. There. I'll walk with you, just take my hand, valley of death, together we stand. Okay, so there's 8 bars, and so we've then got together we stand. We've got 2, and I think 2 bars for the pre-chorus. That's fine. We've got 2, and then let's put a chorus in here. Got a 16 bar chorus for this one. Let's see how big a chorus this will be. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It'll be 8 bar. 8 bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It'll be an 8 bar chorus. Nope, wrong. We haven't picked a key yet. That's fine. That's fine. So that will be up here. Chorus. I've got better words for this. I've updated the lyrics for this and I've put it somewhere. I've put it in a safe place. I wonder if it's on my phone. Maybe. Because I'm pretty sure. Somewhere on my phone, I believe, maybe. Let's have a look. No. 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 Well, I've got it in my head of different lyrics. I don't know why. Here we go. I did let go, then I did let go alternate. No, I don't like that one. Then I did let go version 2. There we go. Right. Right, okay. Right. That's looking a little bit better. So it's fairly similar. I can't move on now is the end. Sand has run out. Darkness begins. I've walked with you, holding your hand. Valley of death, in shadows we stand. So yes, the lyrics are different. Final goodbyes. Tears have all dried. Sleep it evades. Darkness of night. You are afraid. Squeezing my hand. The hourglass falls. Our journey now ends. And it's let go, sands of time flow on, let go. So yes, it's slightly different and I think it's a better version. And so it goes to verse 1, verse 2, pre-chorus, chorus, verse 3, pre-chorus, chorus, bridge. Is a solo guitar again. Must have been something bad with me and solo guitars at the moment. And then the chorus and then outro. Let me think about that. Do I want to do verse 1 then verse 2 or a chorus? Verse 1, chorus, verse 2, chorus, verse 3, chorus, bridge, chorus. Da, 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 da. Now is the end. Sand has run out. Darkness begins. I've walked with you, holding your hand. Valley of death, in shadows we stand. I think that would work. Yeah, let's do that. Otherwise, it makes it a bit too long. All right. So let's go verse 1, verse 2. I like that format. That works. Pressing buttons. Buttons. Gotta click in the clicky bits. So we get rid of the 16 bar chorus there. That's a bit long. Yeah, we're going to do a 4 bar intro, aren't we? Try a 4 bar. It might work, it might not. Depends what happens. Here we go. Just wait on 2 seconds. And I'm back. And I have turned my microphone back on as well. Yay me. I need to finish my coffee, which I think has gone cold now. Oh. It's gone cold now. Right. So, parcel delivered. Thank you for your patience. I now don't have to go to the post office to collect it at a later date. Let's go with 4 bar intro. 8 bars for verse 1. 2 bars pre-chorus. We won't use the chorus there. We won't. Yeah, we won't use. We'll go straight into a second verse. So that will be verse 2. And then we'll go pre-chorus, chorus, and that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's an 8 bar chorus. So let's put that in just so it's just easier. At a glance, I can see how many bars I'm working with. So it's 4 bar intro, 8 bar verse 1, 8 bar verse 2, 2 bar pre-chorus, 8 bar chorus. What do we need after that? Verse 1, verse 2, pre-chorus. I've got chorus 2, but it's not. It's chorus 1. Yeah, it's definitely not chorus 2. I must have edited this and not done it correctly. So that's chorus 1. Let me just make my notes over here. Chorus 2. And then chorus 3. Okay. So a bridge. I reckon 8 bar bridge will be enough. Yeah. Verse 1, verse 2, pre-chorus, chorus. Verse 3, pre-chorus, chorus. Bridge, chorus, outro. Okay. So, intro. Verse 1, verse 2, pre-chorus, 2 bars pre-chorus, chorus, 8 bars for verse 3, and then we want pre-chorus, chorus, and then after that we want yeah, verse 3, chorus. That'll be chorus 2, won't it? Chorus 2, because I do have. Do I have? No, the chorus is all the same, so that's okay. It just needs to be chorus. Doesn't need to be chorus 1, 2, or 3. So that's fine. So we've got 3. We've only got 3 verses. Is that what I've done? Verse 1, verse 2, verse 3. So yeah, it's only 3 verses. All right. So 3 verses, chorus, verse, chorus, bridge. Bridge straight into chorus, I think so. Chorus, bridge, straight into chorus, and outro. Okay. So we can get rid of that. That's fine. Get rid of that. Scoot this over, and we'll change this to an 8. Bar 16's a bit much, I think. This is going to be a much shorter song. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I think we'll go with an 8 bar. So, how many bars we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that will be an 8 bar bridge. And then we'll go straight from the bridge to the chorus again, and then we'll have an outro at the end for 4 bars. That makes this song, ooh, not even 3 minutes. We'll see what happens. See what happens. But that's okay. Short songs are fine. Let's get rid of all this and bring this up to about here. This is a lot longer, which is interesting. Let's turn the metronome off. Let's have a, well, we'll save this in a sec. 4 bars outro. Perhaps we need the 8 bars at the beginning and end. I'm not sure. We'll have to think about that. I'll have to think about that. Let's have a listen again to the demo. So this is still on the intro. That's 16 bars almost. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4 for the pre-chorus. Actually, that's a thing. Have I got a mine 16 bar verses? Let's go back to the lyrics. I'll have to put the metronome back on again. Yeah, I think. 1 bar intro. I can't move on. Now here's the end. Sand has run out. Darkness begins. I've walked with you, holding your hand. Valley of death, in shadows we stand. That's an 8 bar verse. So that will work. So I don't know what I've done here, but that's okay. I might do an 8 bar intro, an 8 bar outro. Just because I can. I think it needs it. I think it warrants it because it's supposed to be a bit more epic. Maybe. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. That's done it. That's done it. Oh, hey, that's done it. Let's move it all over. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did that move it over 4 bars? It should have. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we got an 8-bar intro. I think I feel more comfortable with that. I like to take my time. I think, you know, modern songs, pop songs that are popular only have short intros. That's what I heard. But for the 2 or 3 people that actually listen to my songs, not that many. Although this time round it's been, I don't know, we're up to about 40 people, 40 plus listens to my song. Although there's several that are my family, so, and me. Excuse me, just to double check that everything was all okay in the end. Alright, I'm not sure about this. So this is a lot smaller than the track that I've got here. It's slightly different timing, it's a little bit faster. But that's getting closer to the 3 minutes. I don't know. Let's see how we go. I think I've just got to, I'll save it, and see where we go, because it's going to take a fair bit. What key is it in? I would imagine, me being me, C or A minor. Where does it start? About there, doesn't it? To the metronome. Okay. It's got one flat. My circular 5th drink coaster. So F major. Okay. There we go. Or is it a minor? Is it G minor? Or is it C minor? What is that? I can't even say that. I need my light on. D minor. What would it be? F major or D minor? Finishing on the tonic, so I would imagine if it resolves on that note, it's D minor. There you go. Key sorted. Although in saying that, let's see if this works. This would be interesting, actually. Let's insert, add a track, add a chord. I think this is how we do it. Add a chord track. Yeah, add a chord track. And we'll put that there. And I think if we do this, this will be interesting. We can do that. And it will give me the chords. There you go. Ha! How cool is that? Yep, there we go. F major. It's picked it up as D minor. I think I did it in D minor. So that is helpful. That is helpful. There you go. So it's analysed that and given me all the chords, which I think is an awesome thing. Now, if I line that up with the timing and everything, that would be a huge save. But I'm just going to have it there as a reference, and I'm going to move things around accordingly, because I do want it to be a little bit different to the original. I want the timing to be different. I might want the chords to be different, but at least I've got a reference guide there to what I did previously. So I would definitely put this as D minor. Can we do that? The root key is D, but it's D minor. Or we could put it as F. I don't know. Don't think it matters too much really. If we put, for example, if we're going to put that there, where is that? Somewhere in here. I think once you have got something to look at in here, you can use the scale assistant here, and if you put the scale in here as D natural minor, there you go. You can show scale notes, note guides, and you can snap pitch and snap live input, so it will automatically be in the correct key. But be mindful if you're going to do that as the notes snap to the D minor scale, if you want any incidentals that are not in the D minor scale, it'll automatically make it the D minor scale. So it doesn't work for incidentals. So you've got to be mindful of that if you're going to go do something a little bit different and go outside of the actual scale that you're working within, which I struggled with for a while. And also, if you're going to do that, make sure when you go down to things like the drum kit, and if I was to put in something here and go into the MIDI here, that you don't want any of these for the drums, because it has nothing to do with notes. And I probably should use a drum map. That would be cool. I can't remember how to do that. I kind of remember how to do that in Cakewalk. I did it in Cakewalk. Oh, excuse me, a couple of years ago. My goodness. Songtember was long for me. Another lesson learned. Just keep going. Just keep going. Okay, let's get rid of that. We don't need that. And we don't need that piano bit for now either, so that's fine. But we've got we've got a reference track, we've got that, we've got a bit of a template going on, we've got the structure of it, the arranger track there. So we've got our structure. I think that'll do it for today. I want to put the drums in. I want to do more now. That's the good part about Songtember, is that it gets you motivated to actually finishing a song. So it's definitely motivated me to do another one. Excuse me, I'm so tired. See, I should have had my coffee. I've only drunk half a coffee. So I might work a little bit more on this during the week. As I said, I'd love to get this finished in about a month's time. Would be absolutely brilliant. Don't know if I can do it. I'm going to be flexible with myself. I'm not going to go too hard too quick, because I know that things can fall apart at the last minute, like it did a couple of years ago for Songtember. Just didn't happen. It all fell in a heap. But that's okay. Let's hope that this will work, and we'll continue to work on this in the coming weeks and see if we can get something done. All right. I'm not going to play anything as an outro. I don't want to get this version too much into my head, because I want it to be a bit shiny and new, and the lyrics might have a bit of a touch up as well. So yeah, I know I've got an updated version of the lyrics which is better, but I'm still like and I think that's a good thing, that I'm looking at this with fresh eyes and fresh ears and all the rest of it. So I think it's all good. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for anyone that might have been lurking in the background. And thank you for those who are catching the replay. I hope you enjoy this little wrap up of what for me worked, didn't work, what I learned, what I need to learn more of, how I'm going to go forward, what I'm doing next, and setting it up, and we've made a start. And I think that is a lot of times, I'm going to save this, a lot of times that is a really big challenge, is where do I start? So I'm going to finish a song I started a couple of years ago, and I think that's a good place to go and to practice doing more things and use more of Cubase's tools and learn how to do it better. Take care, everyone, on that happy note. Until then, a bit more. I'll see you next time.